Thank you, Piera. So there we are. I will try to be very quick to please John. As Pierre already really introduced, with this research we have a bunch of knowledge needs. So we want to see, first of all, what kind of demographic development will happen in terms of aging populations. We really want to see how older people at this point experience their lives within the cities. We want to take a look and see how local governments have already tried to devise some policies to help older people be more mobile, for example, or be more integrated with their neighborhood. And from these policies, we will also try to identify some good practices and some good examples that can be shared with the rest of the European community. To do this, we have devised a research method, of course, as all of you have done. Very simple steps. Demographic analysis, we have a broad set of policy research where we go through the different policies in each stakeholder city. And there are 8 case studies. So the stakeholder cities are very much involved in our project. This is really not just research that we're doing for our knowledge needs, but it's mainly research that we're doing for the stakeholder cities, and they're very involved in helping us out there. Aging is kind of a cross-cutting domain. It covers different policy areas. I already alluded to it a little bit earlier. And we are using the WHO framework to really structure aging policies. So you have aging policies regarded to outdoor spaces, where you can think of making sure that everybody can navigate through the city in a proper way, or policies regarding to housing, where you make sure that people can move around in their house freely, the doors are wide enough for a wheelchair to go through, for example. But also more social aspects, social integration, combating loneliness. These are different elements that all come up in these policies, and we're trying to look at the current practices and see where they fit and how we can help the cities to improve it. Pierre already introduced the case study cities, so Amsterdam, Barcelona, Gothenburg, Greater Manchester, Hengelo, Nantes and Oslo, and Zaragoza, last but not least. And in these cities, we are actively communicating with policymakers, but also with older people in the form of focus groups to really try to get all the information that we need in order to come to our innovative outcome. As I stressed already, we really want to have an outcome that is useful for practitioners. So we want to get our research and make it touchable for people so that they can actually implement the suggestions that we are providing and the lessons that we are taking. So we devise a practical guide made up of 2 parts. One part is an overview of good practices. So for all the case study cities, we will take a good look at different good practices that they come up with. We will judge the good practices based on 4 criteria, on the content, on the effectiveness, the innovativeness, and the transferability. And there, it's really for us, it is a challenge to see how these new ideas are innovative. So we measure that, we take a look at all the different cities, and we try to assess how new the idea is, how innovative it is. But it's also very important to have ideas that are transferable to different areas. And this transferability, we also take into account the governance system. I can see that John is helping me with the time, so I'll speed up a little bit. Second part is policy recommendations. We have 2 levels for that. We have more strategic recommendations that are really aimed at the broader domain, so the full domain of aging. And then we have more specific recommendations on one of the 8 WHO domains. Well, also as a thank you to the stakeholder cities, we will also have some specific case study reports so that they can really take the lessons that we've learned and move forward with those lessons. Thank you very much.